let's see, which, okay. Looks like I probably needed to start Discord over again because, as usual, oh, a microphone. Let's see if that makes a difference. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, folks on Discord can hear me. I don't have much to prepare, any sort of demo. I haven't really done anything, so let me pick up the to-do list. And start from there. If I can split my screen nice here, just in case somebody shows up. And bring up the chat. It might be a little constricting in the half a screen, but I'm live now. All right. No idea how to make progress on the OpenOCD crashing. Probably want to integrate RP message. Well, that's, I don't know, that maybe let's check out what has been done here. And I think BeagleY was the last month, so no update in the last week. Maybe reaching out to Andrew might be the best. Today to help us get the right track. Hi Ayush, I can't hear you yet. I wonder if that's my audio. No, my desktop audio is 0, so I'm not. Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah, Yush, I could hear you. Could you hear me? All right. And Discord, which one? All right, now am I audible? Yeah, microphone should be on. Ayush, can you? Okay, great. YouTube stream's going for those that want. I guess I could always bring up the YouTube chat. I never do that. Let me see where that window is. All right, I've got it available. If there's nobody watching right now, so I pinged Andrew. It doesn't look like he's done much. I want to find out from him how do we get things going on the right track. I was just kind of picking up the list of to-do items. I know he's got patches. We can try to bring in those patches for the stopping R5. That's probably one of the biggest ones. And then the OpenOCD stuff, I think not being able to debug is a problem. And then there's the RP message work, right? All these require more significant coding, I think, like the RP message work, getting that into to the lower levels of Zephyr. Um, um, Maybe something more practical to work on is the out of tree stuff, so that we can try to do the um, multiple projects, kind of pulling from the same Zephyr base. Call it an SDK if we want. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's different than the Zephyr SDK, which is just the toolchain, right? This is going to be the, how do I get this to shrink? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to call it. I mean, SDK, for some people, because it includes the OS layers, right? So it's going to include the OS interface, right? So, um, yeah. Um, but maybe we should try to tackle that. Might need to get a second browser window. This taking up half my screen thing is not that great, if it's not actually active. So where did we find a good Zephyr out of tree? There was something. Oh, this example application, right? So maybe I don't know if I forked this. I think I did. Come to think of it, I think. Yep, I did. But this is not out of tree here. This is because this is going to actually clone. The Zephyr RTOS and these handful of yeah. Well, I was seeing that it had us copy that example application. What is T2 topology? Application is the manifest repository. I mean, this sort of layout doesn't look too awful, right? Because we can have multiple applications sitting beside the same Zephyr tree. You think there's a better one? I mean, the main one is like where it puts Zephyr underneath, right? So Zephyr's underneath the project. So freestanding, I guess that's what we want. what right, so I think this is what we want. We would have a, but it would be different than using the default West YAML, right? So we would have our own version of what's here as Zephyr project. So we can use a reference workspace application or create your application by hand. Workspace application, but so freestanding. Is there not much more on freestanding? We'll discuss them more below. Yeah. I don't know. The T2 topology at least has more examples. I mean, there's T2 that much worse of a layout. But can you build multiple applications in the same workspace? That's like so that's kind of the thing is like if we lay it out as a workspace, but you can make arbitrary applications, that doesn't seem excessively limiting to me. I mean, having a true arbitrary location is good. But this can be partially imported with lower precedence or only. What does it mean for only manifest rev version? I think today maybe just kind of get set on an activity and not actually try to do too much. I want to make sure that you can get back to the tech lab examples. We don't want to lose making progress on Zephyr on BeagleY-AI, but Um, so this is interesting. The way we've got ours laid out right now. Um, I'm not sure I understood your point, but then um, the way we've got it right now, how is this differing than the T2 version? So remotes, projects looks really similar. We don't have this self path. Like one thing that we have different in our tree, right? You know, we have um, this MicroPython test really is the application, right? It's the application because it's the .get um, rather than the workspace, right? So if we really want to put it up a level, right? We intentionally moved west.yaml under a project to kind of put it here. If we move west.yaml back up to MicroPython test directory, like we move it back up there, and then we what else do we need to do? We need to just we might need to add this self path, right? I don't know if we need to add this. We don't have any source files. We're just doing modules lib MicroPython. Would that become self? Since in this case we don't actually have our source, we're just referencing the source from another project. Maybe not, but maybe we can find what the limitations are, right? As long as we're on a similar tag for the revisions and the modules, I don't know why it wouldn't work, right? It'd be I think getting this part aligned between the applications. All right, I'd wonder if there's a way that we can do it where we have a specific set of where we don't have to specify this in the application.yaml, in the application west.yaml, right? That we can somehow specify what's here. But putting extra things on the west command line, I think, makes it harder to use. We can we can add things to like this. As I think to do anything, we have to get this this environment variable, right? And this can probably be something set in the disk image, right? Calling like, so I think we can set environment variables to set the path, if that's what you mean. Um, and like generally have the environment set up in the disk image. We have to make sure people understand what's going on, right? You have to tell it to them so that they know. Um, but I don't see why we couldn't, set those paths. I'm I'm having a hard time taking what you're telling me though and turning it into like, okay, what do I need to change? Are you saying it does that now or it will do that? But does that mean that we can change our um, do we still need west.yaml in the project? No, I'm just wondering if it doesn't need to be in the project, right? Because we could, if we could have. Okay, so if I moved West YAML, that's confusing. So it's still referencing it, so it still needs it again. Yeah, understood that. Understood that. I'm just wondering how do I, because what the what I'm trying to avoid is we've got a certain set of things that we want to, that are big, that we want to clone onto the disk image, right? There's Zephyr, there's the modules, right? Like we've got 4 modules here, and then we've got an external module here with MicroPython, right? So like these modules, right, we would want to have just kind of pre-installed into um, um, a folder, right? Like maybe um, like an opt, right? Something like that. Um, like opt Zephyr. Um, well, I'm well, we can if you're saying we can put it all the way out of the workspace, let's put it all the way out of the workspace. If we can if we need to have it sitting in the workspace like T2, but I would want what um, I'm trying to avoid is right here. There's this West.yaml in the application, and if we're trying to provide a common build environment, each application has to have essentially the same West.yaml. And I'm saying that we want to provide it. You can always have your custom West.yaml, right, and bring in something custom. I'm trying to have something that if you just want to use the default. Okay, right, but those. Let me just start doing it. It's going to be clearer if I just start doing it. How do I open a? How do I open the root directory? Can we not see root from here? We can't see root from here. Okay. Maybe these are just examples. Right? So if we make directory Zephyr in here. Maybe it's not going to work without permissions. So I don't know. Maybe it needs to live in this folder. I worry about putting things. Well, this is the home directory of the user anyway. Maybe that's okay. So in a user home directory, I don't know. Debian doesn't like generally putting things into user home directories. Right, I'm trying to make essentially a Debian package that we can have a pre-initialized set of, which we know is a headache when you do git trees, which is why like most everything that Robert does in opt, right, he's just doing copies, right, or I don't know if this is a git repo or not. Maybe this isn't. Anyway, when he does a lot of the yeah, opt might be a right. So this is an example of one, right? So opt source. The things he's putting under opt source are actually git trees. So I don't think these are Debian packaged. Yeah, I don't know how to do the. Yeah. Anyway, I'm confident those aren't Debian packaged. They whether or not I think we want to try to Debian package them. It's a little bit weird to include a .git directory under there because that means that the files are going to are subject to change outside of the package control. So maybe not doing that is better. I don't know. I don't want I want this to try to be reproducible in as much as possible, right? But if we Zephyr, I hate to call it the SDK, Zephyr tools. I don't know. What do we even call like a reusable Zephyr? Shared Zephyr. I don't know. Because there's already Zephyr SDK, and this is really something that's an extension of the SDK to actually include the tools that you actually need to build with it. So what would work for us? To call it a platform? Okay. Am I hiding it too much? If I um, yeah, your video is delayed. I kind of think there's a good reason too, because it's part of it, but because it's all the stuff that you actually need to build anything with the tool chains. Um, so I think there is some sense to it, as it's overall, extending the SDK and things that you need to build with it. But um, let's just Yep, yep, I agree. It's just like we'd have to manage them together. So if we're not, so we'll call it Zephyr Platform. I don't know if we need to. I kind of feel like we should bury the SDK underneath. If we're making a Zephyr platform, though, I feel like it should be buried underneath this. Um, like Zephyr Platform, and then there's Zephyr Source, and then there's Zephyr SDK. Um, so we can make I can do this in this editor now. This is under here. So if I'm going to copy this west.yaml into, is it not going to reread it? So if I put into Zephyr Platform, just go new file. New file. So if I wanted to put a copy of Zephyr underneath there, so wherever you put west.yaml, it's actually going to be one directory up where it actually puts Zephyr, right? So mf for the west.yaml in that directory, and then dot. So that's interesting. Also, we would include the Python stuff over here too. Yeah, I think including somehow, like if we made it clean, I think including this like all in one script where we source it and source it at boot. Um, uh, well, right. But if you put if it's based on shell overloads, why didn't it finish that? Okay. Um, uh, then you could only execute the commands from here. Like I worry about. Well, that may be okay because you can always source it elsewhere. Um, so you think there's a shell overload, so we can change into this directory. It'll automatically load that. If mm, yeah, but it's so the thing is, I don't want to have it separate for each application either. What does it? Well, that's just it. I mean, do we need to put all the applications into? Do we need to do the T2 topology? Is that the only one that's really practical? And doing fully out of tree is not. Not making it sound like it. Um, we just need to pick something, I guess. All right. So now, if we're saying, so right now I've got this west.yaml here. I need to do pip install west. I need to do. Yeah, Python is stupid. I mean, we're trying to give people an easy way to start doing development with Zephyr, and then um, being able to kind of pull back from there. Oh, T3 actually has a little bit more of a. Okay, they do manifest repo. That's. Actually, T3 starts to look like more like. Uh, so it shows multiple apps. That seems to be the way to go. Just the idea is just to keep this west.yaml around for all the things that would be for default. So now we can just do west init dot. Is it just dot? Which one should it be done? Yeah. Unexport, unset. I already read in the environment. So I'd already sourced my Zephyr environment, so I think it's just Zephyr base that really matters. And now Zephyr base is going to be set as one directory above this, right? Okay, so it puts manifest repo. The way I did it, it's putting .west under manifest repo. Well, so what is it? Okay, it's just Zephyr. See, this is the thing. I don't want to have be somebody's first experience, right? Especially if you're in a classroom environment. Right, that's the big thing that I want to try to avoid is having to have these big clones. Should I cancel this one and try it from? So you think from here, do west init local? What do I do? So it's saying specify the project. Sorry, so from which directory do I do that? And then, yeah, you say I need a dash L or a dot dot, or should I just be able to do west init? But will it find west.yaml automatically? Well, it's not because it's copying from GitHub, so that's pulling the wrong one, right? Because right now, if you look in our west.yaml, it's supposed to be pulling from OpenBeagle. All right, so we've got, because the project is on BeagleY-AI Zephyr, so if it's pulling from GitHub, it's pulling the wrong one. We could play some ugly games there to make it copy faster too, but we'll do that. So West init help manifest files mf. Oh, I wonder if we do the URL thing. If we just put it so we don't. Yeah. We should probably do this too. Shallow. People can always unshallow now. Unshallowing is pretty straightforward now. But I think it might be good for us to actually just put it at a URL. West init -mf manifest repo west.yaml-o. Okay, it's this way, maybe. Seems like something should be quoted. Huh. What do you mean? Is it trying to generate it? So why does it say it would create the west.yaml already exists? Yeah, these different topologies. Yeah, the T3 looks the best, but it doesn't have the processes for actually setting them up, which is odd. All right, let me make a dummy project. Manifest repo. File. So what's the dash M? We need a dash L, okay, to do that other one, so that makes sense. What if we just do, so instead of dash L is dash M, M. There we go. So where does it put it? That's odd. Oh, because the URL included manifest, it included .git. So .west now should have a config. So I could do, just to make it clean, let's just say that we did this. Westinet-m Zephyr manifest repo, right? So this is the, maybe this is some about how it's intended, right? So you would, where you're setting up the environment, you just clone that one. Now we've got it. Yep. And really with Zephyr base, you can work anywhere, but so if we say in Zephyr if we go into Zephyr platform and put our apps under there, maybe we should call it Zephyr Workspace. They're calling it West Workspace, but is there another way we could speed up the I mean, could we do anything with Git caching? I don't know. Not suitable for use in production. It's a little more invasive than I'd want, but probably reasonable. I mean, because this is calling get directly, I don't know if it would pick it up. It's replacing all the commands with. All right, well, it's 10. I'm gonna drop this for now. I think we've got a bit of approach. I think the big thing to figure out is whether or not these histories, like if we want to do this in the shell script or do this in a Debian package. I guess the most practical thing is just to do it in a shell script. But it's just one more thing you can't just use deb package for, or deb bootstrap, sorry. I don't know about what you consider most things. I mean, a lot of the custom things, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the repos. Hmm. I'm just saying, most there's a lot of stuff that's packaged, and making more stuff unpackaged, I think, is making it harder to maintain. All right, thanks for your time today. I'll catch you on Discord for other topics.